Welcome back, dear students. Now, in this lecture, we are going to start chapter 2, plant tissue culture. In this chapter, we are going to study the in vitro culture of cell, tissue or organ on artificial nutrient media under controlled environmental condition. So this is the definition of the plant tissue culture, where we culture the cell or tissue or organ on artificial nutrient media. Generally we know that the plant has been grown in the soil. Soil is the best nutrient medium for the growth of all types of microorganisms. But in plant tissue culture, we are going to in vitro culture the cell or tissue on artificial nutrient medium under controlled environmental conditions. In glass tube, in environmentally supportive conditions where the plants grows and regenerate into the whole plant. So this is the plant tissue culture. So one by one we are going to clear all the concepts in the plant tissue culture. Now here we are going to study the concept of tissue culture. So tissue culture is the culture and maintenance of plant cells or organs in sterile, nutritionally and environmentally supportive conditions that we called as the in vitro condition. So here plant tissue culture is the in vitro culture and maintenance of the plant cells or organs in sterile, nutritional medium that is called as the plant tissue culture. The meaning of the word in vitro means environmentally supportive conditions where all care has been taken place regarding the asepsis. Asepsis is the bunch of conditions or the techniques that has been taken to avoid contamination. Contamination is unwanted growth of the bacteria, fungi that has been occurred on nutrient medium. So to avoid this, the asepsis or aseptic conditions has been maintained. So in vitro conditions are environmentally supportive conditions. Furthermore, such conditions also provide nutrition by using the nutrient medium. Here our goal in the plant tissue culture is the culture and maintenance of plant cells or organs in sterile nutrient medium. Instead of this, if one can get the other microorganisms on the culture medium, that we called as the contaminants. So to avoid contamination, we have to take care of this by using certain techniques, for example sterilization. So sterilization is the one of the way by which we kill the unwanted microorganism. So this is referred as asepsis. So aseptic conditions should be maintained during the whole operation of the plant tissue culture. Here we are studying the concept of tissue culture. Tissue culture is the in vitro culture and maintenance of plant cells or organs in sterile nutrient medium. Furthermore, tissue culture produces clones in which all the product cells have the same genotype. So the meaning of the clones means the cells produced from the parental cells are alike genotypically and phenotypically also. So the tissue culture produces the clones, identical copies, in which all the product cells have the same genotype. Haberladen in 1902 is known as father of plant tissue culture. So Haberladen, who discovered this technique of culturing of plant cells or tissue or organ on nutritional medium under controlled climatic conditions. So Haberladen is known as father of plant tissue culture. In commercial way, the plant tissue culture is primarily used for plant propagation. The meaning of the propagation is the multiplication of the plant. So the multiplication of the plant has been carried out by using the smallest part of the plant and by culturing this on artificial nutrient medium under controlled environmental condition. The large number of plants has been obtained. So in commercial way, plant tissue culture is primarily used for plant propagation, plant multiplication. So it is referred as micro propagation. Propagation means multiplication, micro means smallest. So by using smallest part of the plant, the multiplication of the plant has been carried out in a technique that is called as micro propagation. The first commercial use of plant tissue culture on artificial media was in the germination and growth of orchid plants in the year 1920. So this is the history of the plant tissue culture, where the orchid plants has been germinated and grown on artificial media by using the tissue culture technique. During 1950 to 1960, most reliable artificial culture medium, that is the EMS medium, was developed. The EMS, Murashige and Skog medium. So after this development of the EMS medium or Murashige and Skog medium, a rapid growth in the plant tissue culture technique has been carried out. The tissue culture is mainly used for genetic manipulation, somatic hybridization and other procedures that benefit propagation, plant improvement and basic research. The plant tissue culture is primarily used for micropropagation, means for the multiplication of the plant. In addition to this, this technique has been used for plant improvement, in somatic hybridization, in genetic manipulation and other basic research. The tissue culture needs the critical requirements such as a appropriate tissue that we called as a explant. So explant is any part of the plant. It may be the cell, it may be the tissue, it may be the organ. So any part of the plant. Suppose if you are using the leaf as an starting material, starting plant material for tissue culture, so leaf is a explant. Similarly, pollen, ovule, ovary, anther, any organ, that is the embryo, endosperm, so these are the explant. So explant is any part of the plant that has been inoculated on artificial nutrient medium, that is called as the explant. E-X-P-L-A-N-T, explant, any part of the plant that has been used in the plant tissue culture, that is called as the explant. In addition to this, it requires suitable growth medium that provides the nutrients for the growth of the explant. Furthermore, aseptic conditions. So this aseptic condition has been maintained by sterilization, by using UV radiations, by using 95% ethanol. So the sterile conditions or the aseptic condition has been maintained to avoid contamination, to avoid unwanted growth of any microorganisms. Here we are interested in the growth or the culture and the maintenance of the plant cell, tissue or organ. Instead of this, any other microorganism has been grown on nutrient medium, that we called as contamination. So to avoid contamination, the aseptic condition should be maintained during the whole operation of the plant tissue culture. Furthermore, it also requires growth regulators. So growth regulators like auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, abscisic acids are generally used in the plant tissue cultures. So these plant growth regulators have a specific physiological impact or the influence on the growth of the explant. So these growth regulators are used in various proportions or combinations or concentrations in the nutrient medium. Next is the frequent subculturing. So when the explant has been grown on the nutrient medium, as the growth of the explant proceeds, it derive nutrition from the culture medium. So the nutrients has been exhausted from the culture medium as the growth of the explant has been progresses. So for this, frequent subculturing has been carried out, means that explant grown, when this explant has been grown into the shoot, that shoot has been excised, it has been removed from the culture medium and transfer on the freshly prepared nutrient medium to get the more nutrients for its growth and development. So this process, it is called as subculturing. So frequent subculturing has been carried out for plant tissue culture. So tissue culture needs appropriate tissue, that is the explant, suitable growth medium, aseptic or sterile conditions, growth regulators and frequent subculturing. Here the definition of the plant tissue culture. The plant tissue culture is defined as a bunch of techniques used to maintain or grow plant cells, tissues or organs under sterile conditions on a nutrient culture medium of known composition, that is called as the plant tissue culture. So this is the precise definition of the plant tissue culture, where the plant cells, tissues or organs are maintained and grow on nutrient culture medium under sterile conditions. So that is called as the plant tissue culture. In other way, we can define plant tissue culture as in vitro culture of cell or tissue or organ on artificial nutrient media under controlled environmental conditions, that is also called as plant tissue culture. In vitro culture means under controlled environmental conditions. Here the plant cells or tissues or organs has been grown on artificial nutrient medium of known composition under controlled environmental conditions, that is called as the plant tissue culture. This is widely used to produce clones of a plant in a method known as micropropagation. So micropropagation is the one of the commercial application of the plant tissue culture, where we can produce the large number of plants, large number of identical plant by using the smallest part of the plant. So this is the way by which we can produce the large number of plants. We can multiply the plant, we can propagate the plant in large number by using the smallest part of the plant, which is known as micropropagation. Next, so this is the cellular totipotency. So this is happen because of the principle behind the plant tissue culture that we called as cellular totipotency. Here in plant tissue culture, we are going to in vitro culture of cell or tissue or organ on artificial nutrient media under controlled environmental condition. So this cell or tissue or organ having a potency, having the ability to develop into the entire plantlet. So this ability, it is referred as cellular totipotency. Cellular totipotency means that any cell contains all the required information and the ability to generate the whole plant. So whole plant regeneration can be carried out in the plant tissue culture because of the cellular totipotency. Totipotency, the literally meaning of this is a Latin meaning, that is the entirely having a power, so the cell can regenerate the whole plant. Totipotency means entirely having a power. So cellular totipotency means that any cell contain all the required information and the ability to generate a whole plant. So this principle has been utilized in the plant tissue culture. The concept of totipotency was established by German botanist Haberlandt in 1902 in the plant body. He stated that every living cell of the plant body is able to regenerate the whole plant body, as it is derived from the fertilized egg and contain hereditary information. Totipotency in Latin meaning, totus means entirely and potens means having power. It having a power, it having a potency, it having a ability to regenerate the whole plant, because any cell contain all the required information and the ability to generate a whole plant, that is called as cellular totipotency. In animals, only zygote and initial embryo cells are totipotent. Among higher plants and animals, the zygote exemplifies cell totipotency occurring naturally in the whole organism. After providing nourishment, growth factors, a suitable environment, the cell multiplies, develops tissue and organs and multiplies for an independent existence. The vegetative or somatic cells also have totipotency. So a zygotic cell that having a totipotency or the ability for the regeneration of the whole plant. So this is carried out after providing nourishment by using a nutrient medium. We have to provide suitable environment for the growth of explant. So during this, the cell multiplies, develops tissue and organs, and it also grows into the whole organism or the whole plant, so it can gives an independent existence. So this vegetative or somatic cell have the totipotency. Now the driving principles behind the plant tissue culture. Plant tissue culture is based on cell plasticity and totipotency. So totipotency we discussed here previously. Now the cell plasticity. These are the central dividing principles behind the success of tissue culture in plants. The plasticity allows plant to change their metabolism, growth and development to best suit their environment. So the cell plasticity is the ability of the cell to change their metabolism, growth and development to the best suit their environment. The abilities to initiate cell division from almost many tissues of the plant and to regenerate lost organs or undergo different development pathways in response to particular stimuli. So cell plasticity is the ability of the cell to divide into the cells to form tissues, also to regenerate the lost organs, and it can undergoes different development pathways in response to the particular stimuli. When plant cells and tissues are cultured in vitro, they generally exhibit a high degree of plasticity, which allows one type of tissue or organ to be initiated from another type. So plasticity is the ability of the cell to exhibit a high degree of plasticity, which allows one type of tissue or organ to be initiated from another type. So when we culture, in vitro culture the plant cell or tissue, it exhibits the plasticity, means which allows one type of cell or a tissue or organ to be initiated from another type. In this way, whole plant can be subsequently regenerated, and this regeneration of whole organism depends on the concept that all plant cells, given the correct stimuli, express the total genetic potential of the parental plant. This maintenance of genetic potential is called totipotency. Hence, if we provide suitable growth and nutrient conditions to a plant tissue in the laboratory, then it can regenerate into a whole plant having a similar genome to that of the source plant. So this is due to the character of cellular totipotency. So cellular totipotency, in short, it is the ability of the isolated cell to grow and develop the whole plant, that is called as cellular totipotency. And if we provide suitable growth and nutrient conditions to a plant, to a tissue in the laboratory, then it can regenerate into the whole new plant, which is similar in genotype to that of the source plant. So this is happen because of the character of cellular totipotency. So cellular totipotency is defined as the inherent potentiality of a plant cell to give rise to a whole plant, or the ability of a single cell to produce all cell types and to organize them into an entire organism when cultured in a suitable culture medium at an appropriate temperature and aeration conditions. So totipotency, it is the inherent ability or the potentiality of the plant cell to give rise to a whole plant, that is called as cellular totipotency. One can define cellular totipotency as the ability of a single cell to produce all cell types and to organize them into an entire organism. So this happen when it is cultured in a suitable nutrient medium at an appropriate temperature and aeration conditions. For example, the spores and zygote are the best to explain cellular totipotency. So this zygote develops into the embryo, which possesses the shoot initials and root initials. So whole plant regeneration can be occurred by using a zygote as a starting material, as a explant, as a single cell. So this zygote develop into the embryo. Embryo, as it get mature, it possesses shoot initials and root initials. From shoot initials, the plumule has been formed, and from the root initials, the primary roots are produced. So whole plant regeneration can be occurred by using a single cell, that is a zygote. In short, totipotency is the ability of a single cell to divide and produce all the differentiated cells in an organism. Really, it is the genetic potential of the plant cell to produce the entire plant. So this is all about the cellular totipotency. Now the expression of the totipotency in culture. So this totipotency has been used in the plant tissue culture. The basis of tissue culture is to grow large number of cells in a sterile controlled environment. The cells are obtained from stem, root and allowed to grow on culture medium containing mineral nutrients, vitamins and hormones to encourage cell division and growth. As a result, the cells in culture will produce an unorganized proliferative mass of cells which is known as callus tissue. So callus is a unorganized, undifferentiated mass of the cell. So when the cells are obtained from stem, root and allowed to grow on culture medium that contain mineral nutrients, vitamins, hormones to encourage the cell division and growth. So as a result of this, in the culture, it will produce an unorganized proliferative mass of the cells which is known as callus tissue. The cells that comprise the callus are totipotent, means having the ability to develop the whole plant. Thus, callus cells may be in a broader sense totipotence, means it may be able to regenerate back to the normal plant given certain manipulation of the medium and the cultural environment. Truly speaking, totipotency of the cell is manifested through the process of differentiation, and the hormones in this process play the major role than any other manipulations. So for whole plant regeneration from the callus tissue, the hormonal combination has to be manipulated for the differentiation of the callus into the plant organ. The callus start to produce the aerial shoot when the concentration of the cytokinin is more than the auxin. It can also produce the primary roots when the concentration of the auxin is more than the cytokinin. So balanced combination of the auxins and the cytokinins has been used for shoot and root development to the callus tissue. Now the importance of totipotency. The totipotency of the somatic cells has been exploited in vegetative propagation of the plant. When the propagation of the plant has been carried out by using root, stem and leaf, that is a vegetative propagation. So this totipotency of the somatic cell has been exploited in vegetative propagation of plants. Genetic modifications, production of homozygous diploid plants through haploid cell culture, somatic hybridization, mutation, etc. is successful only because of the cellular totipotency. Totipotency is helpful in germplasm preservation of endangered plant species. So these are the importance of the totipotency. So by using the principle of the totipotency, the vegetative propagation of the plant has been carried out. Furthermore, genetic modifications, production of homozygous diploid plants through haploid culture, somatic hybridization, mutations are carried out because of the cellular totipotency. The cellular totipotency is also helpful in germplasm conservation of endangered plant species. So these are the importance of the totipotency. Basic techniques of the plant tissue culture. So these basic techniques we will study in the next lecture. Thank you.